Hey guys, this is Toddie One Skip. Welcome back to my channel. This is Issues with Toddie One Skip. This podcast episode is Issues with Money. Money. Alright, so let's bring it down a peg. Let's talk a little bit about the issues with money. Being it's the currency that helps us purchase the things that we must have to live. Unless you are completely living off the grid and making your own fires from wood, killing your own animals, skinning and cooking them up, we need the currency of money to just survive, to buy food, to buy shelter, to buy clothing, to buy heat, water, electric. And those are the essentials. I'm not talking about the internet, which is kind of essential if you want to be in this world, telephone, anything if you want to participate with people. The problem is that the currency is money, and it is the same amount basically for everybody, yet not everybody makes the same amount of money. So when I say that what I'm equating that to is, let's say I go into the store and I buy dog food. The dog food is the same amount of money no matter how much money I make an hour. Okay, so if I make $20 an hour, the dog food is still $2.35 a can. Last year, the dog food was like $1.60 a can. Like, no joke. So, now, if I had $1 million, the dog food is still $2.35 a can. My pay hasn't increased, yet the dog food's price has increased. And that's across the board, everything. Everything. I haven't been able to really afford to buy myself steak. Like, that used to be a once a week thing. So, everything has gone up. And again, I don't want to talk politics because it doesn't matter. It's relative. It doesn't matter. What costs me the same amount of money cost a millionaire the same amount of money that it costs me. So it's not like the price goes up because they have more money and the price comes down because I have less money. I've had people accuse me of being a socialist. And here's what I believe. I believe that anybody that works hard, 40 hours a week, regardless of what they do, they should be able to make enough money to live comfortably. Shouldn't be 2 full-time jobs to live comfortably. Because then what happens is, and obviously what we've seen happen, is the neglect of people. And when people are neglected, they start feeling a certain way. I don't know, maybe start shooting up some places. People feel ignored for whatever reason. And it might just be because parents have to go out and work so hard just to put food on the table. That's ridiculous. I don't think that everybody should be paid the same amount for every job. But I do think that people should be able to make a living and not have to worry about paying their necessities when they work hard 40 hours a week, whether that be at McDonald's, collecting garbage, or whether it be as a doctor. Yes, the doctors should doctors get paid more? Well, in different countries, doctors don't get paid the same amount that they get paid in the United States. In socialized medicine countries, doctors don't get that extreme income. They get paid more, but they also went to school for. But I don't think people that didn't go to school and are willing to work 40 hours a week at McDonald's or any other job, at any job, should they have to work 2 jobs to just make the essentials, to just the necessities? Yeah, maybe they can't drive a more expensive car, but they still should be able to drive a car, get to work, buy food. They might not be able to get the steak that the doctor gets, but they should be able to get hamburger. They should be able to make it. That is something that I think we should be having in this country. Let me give you an example. There are so many abandoned buildings in this country. And again, I speak from the United States. I'm from the United States. There's abandoned buildings throughout the world. Look at YouTube. Abandoned buildings. There are some abandoned buildings that people could live in and take care of the yard and take care of things like the roof and such like that, and be able to live there, as well as get like a part-time job and pitch in. We should be able to help people that are less fortunate. There shouldn't be this huge gap. And again, I know I'm talking political, but it's only because it is political. But I'm speaking for humanity. I'm speaking for civilization. I'm speaking for people. I'm not titling it, and I don't want anybody else to title this politics. We, as individuals, have the capability of changing things around us if we do it. We don't need politicians to tell us what is right and what is wrong. That is not our conscience. Our conscience is from within us. We need to hear that. I'm not saying let's go break laws, but let's relook at things. We have a bunch of abandoned buildings. You know, I used to work in the jail system, and I've said that before. There are state penitentiaries that can honestly survive on their own monies. Like, it shouldn't cost so much money to keep an inmate. And these are examples. People in our government shouldn't make obscene prices. There should be caps on things. That is not a free country. We live in a capitalistic society. That's what it is. That is it. Money rules. And with that type of attitude, this is what happens. People are angry, and they're losing it. And some of the laws that have been changed to even put people in worse positions. I mean, to put people in worse positions. People are going to get so desperate that they're either going to kill themselves or kill others. It's happening. It's happening. We have to be more humane. There are a bunch of abandoned buildings that people could live in. We don't have to have the homelessness that we have here. I'm not saying handouts. We should be giving step-ups. Those people that aren't willing to do anything and just continue, we'll find a place for them. We'll find a place for them. But there's so many people that are just trying to make it, and have unfairly. And I don't want to hear life's not fair. The American dream was born on fairness. Everybody was welcome here. America was built on taking advantage of the weak and the indigenous people, the American Indians, and stealing and pilfering from them. That's what America was built on. But the American dream, that was built on something different. That was built on inclusion, fairness, where people could go and run for their land. People could go and find gold. It was for everybody. And a third of the country has made it solely about them, and they're screaming louder than everybody else. And this is humanity in this country. We don't have to behave like that. If you didn't behave like that, those that behave like that, it wouldn't be happening. Don't hide behind politics. That's why I say it's not about politics. It's about narcissism. It's about bad behavior. It's about greed. Call it for what it is. I know people that have millions of dollars. They can live 3 lifetimes and still never go through their money. Yet for some reason they think at the end of it all, it's still more important that they have it with them when they go. You cannot take it with you. What are you doing? I know a lot of people that control people with money. They keep chasing money and have competitions with other people to make more money. I've said before and I'll say it again. When your bottom line is the dollar and not people, you better always hope and pray to God that the currency will always be money. Because once you take money out of that equation, if that's all you focused on, you have nothing else that you can bargain with. Nothing else. So it's pretty dangerous when you put everything into the dollar. Because who's to say that that will only be the only currency? You know, people talk about guns and stuff and protection and even of our own government. And I get it now of our own government. I never got that before, but I get it now. But here's the thing. Our government, take a switch, flip it, and the banks are closed to all your money. Where's your connection with people now? What's going on now? When you don't have access to that money, and listen, there are countries that have done that. Do you think that's impossible? Think about it. Do you think it's impossible? I don't think anything is impossible. So the day that you can't use the only currency you have, the only value, because that's what you've done. When you're chasing money, you don't really care what type of person you are. All you care about is how many toys you have. You don't care about how you live your life. You just care about what you get out of your life. Right? Isn't that the saying? Use things, not people. Well, people that value money more use people and love things. My problem with money is that we've put such value on it, and now everything is so expensive that it's so hard to make ends meet, that there's a resentment. People work just as hard every week, but the cost of living has just gone up and gone up and gone up. And this isn't a political thing. I'm just telling you that once you value money more than people, at the end of it all, you lose. Because while you're gone and you can't take that with you, people are going to remember that. And here's what I love. I love people that say, well, you know, I'm going to leave it for my kids. My kids will have it all once I'm gone. You won't help them now. You want them to believe that you're going to get them when you're gone. You don't give a shit now, but you're going to give a shit all of a sudden when you're gone? That doesn't make any sense. People that aren't giving of things aren't any more giving when they're gone. You know? It's not all of a sudden that they care later. So there is personal issues with this. I had money. I gave money away. I found out who my friends were, and I found out, unfortunately, who my friends aren't. I've been in situations where I've needed money, and in the meantime, I've helped a lot of people, and they've been in a position to help me back, and some have not. Some have not. So sometimes I think the money that I gave out was a great investment to tell me who somebody is and who somebody isn't. Of course, there are people that are good people. Far and few between anymore, I'm convinced. I know that that's probably not the greatest thing to say, but that's the reality of what I see in the world, which is really too bad. While you're killing yourself, making the next $1 or $2 or whatever it is, step back for a second. Look at your peripheral. See if you're not spending time with your kid because you're making that extra $2, $10, $20. See what you're missing out on. See that you're not spending time with your wife, who ultimately will find somebody to spend time with. Somebody will spend time with her. Your husband. Somebody will spend time with him. Money can be replaced. When somebody loves you and gives you that priceless gift, that can't be replaced. When somebody gives you respect, consideration, all of that is time consuming. That's priceless. So there you go, guys. Thanks again for listening to Issues with Toddie One Skip. Yeah, Issues with Toddie One Skip. This was about money. Be better today than you were yesterday, and be much better tomorrow. And like, subscribe, tell everybody about me.